Hi everyone, I want to welcome you to my class today, and the topic of my class will be the causes of behavior disorders in children. So first and foremost, I want to give the meaning of behavior disorders. Behavior disorder is a pattern of disruptive behaviors in children that lasts for at least 6 months and cause problems in school, at the home, and in social situations. This is different from the challenging behaviors children sometimes display. So, oof. Hi everyone, I want to welcome you to my class. And the topic of my class today is causes of behavior disorders in children. So, first and foremost, I want to define the meaning of behavior disorders. Behavior disorders is a pattern of disruptive behaviors in children that lasts for at least 6 months and cause problems in school, at home, and in social situations. This is different from the challenging behaviors children sometimes display. Uh, at this juncture, I want us to look at the causes of that behavioral disorders. To start us off, I want to give the first cause, which is the family and social behaviors. An individual child first interacts with the family members. The child asserts oneself in a manner that will enable him or her to please his parents first and the siblings if they are there. The child who does not please the parent feel afraid of the parent, and therefore the parent may end up having negative attitudes towards the child. Such negative attitude on one side of the parent may influence the child's behavior either negatively or positively. Number two, life events, emotional stress, and relationships. Maltreatment in childhood and in adulthood include the sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, domestic violence, and bullying has been linked to the development of mental disorders through a complex interaction of societal, family, psychological, and biological factors. Number three, neighborhoods, society, and culture. Problems in communities or cultures, including poverty, unemployment or underemployment, lack of social cohesion, and migration, have been implicated in the development of mental disorders. Stresses and strains related to socioeconomic position have been linked to the occurrence of major mental factors with a lower or more insecure educational, occupational, economic, or social position generally linked to more mental disorders. Other factors include social factors, and child socialization. Different socioeconomic classes affect the child differently. For a child from an upper socioeconomic class may get all the material pleasures very easily. These materials, if provided in abundance, can lead to problem behavior such as drug addiction and trafficking. On the other hand, children from low economic class face other problems such as face other problems that make them unable to survive independently until they resort to begging, gambling, stealing, etc., unless they come from a well-disciplined home background. The other problem is community and school role in child socialization. Every community has a duty to socialize the children in the community. However, more often than not, modernization and urbanization factors have handicapped this effort in many ways, and the work of the child socialization has been left to schools. Still, on the same factors, schools have turned themselves into another kind of institutions interested in the children's academic performance rather than the child's social awareness. The other cause of behavioral behavior is the media, which affects the child's behavior development. With their advancement, scientific inventions and innovations, there has been an explosion of science and technology nowadays. It affects in shaping the child's behavior in a very enormous way. We have newspapers, radios, television, mobile phones, the internet, and others are really shaping the child's behavior in a very strange way. Much of the strange behaviors around the country today or countries today have been accelerated by information and communication highways due to what can be called technological explosion. Other causes includes biological factors. Human development is shaped by a continuous interaction between biology and experience. Every child is born with powerful inborn tendencies, and these tendencies can work both for and against a child. When a child is born with a genetically predisposed tendency towards some mental health problems, their environment becomes critically important to support and guide the child in a very positive health direction. This adds stress to the already difficult job of parenting. Other factors include school factors, which acts as behavior modification. Right from home, children are problematic to issues within the family. And this kind of behavior is carried to school. Parents know that it isn't easy, period, to bring up a child. Children rebel, they regress, and they do everything they can to go against the parents at one time or the other. It's a fact of life, and we can think back to our younger days and see these things within ourselves. Other factors includes motor symptoms. This includes abnormalities of cognitive processes. These abnormalities are concerned with the motor activities of the individual of doing the opposite of what is expected of him or her. The general symptoms can be categorized into 1. Disorders of muscular activity. These are type of disorder in which muscular acts and muscular tonus may occur on an organic or on a functional basis. The examples include paralysis, which indicates stage of complete loss of motor functions of the muscles. The other one includes disorder of motor language habits. The disorders of this category are specific symptoms of abnormality, and this may be 1. Motor aphasia, which is the loss of ability to speak words. Aprasia, loss of ability to write. Amemia, loss of the ability to express thought in gestures. Writing peculiarities, which is concerning the abnormalities in writing. And finally, the use of objectable language, which is a display of an accustomed faculty of profane, obscene language. The number 3 is the disorder of voluntary acts of motor behavior, which includes, this category may include the following: increased psychomotor activity. These symptoms relate to the conditions where the individual is persistently engaged in a constant motion, crying, laughing, shouting, or whispering. 2. Decreased psychomotor activities. These symptoms manifest themselves in the slowdown of motion, hesitation or indecision, rigidity, and inability to walk or stand without support. Number 3, constant repetition of the same act, stereotype. In this category, we have automatism, which refers to the state where a person has a mechanical repetitious motor behavior carried out unconsciously. That is, he or she may repeatedly clench his first touch his lips. Number 4, impulsive or unduly responsive motor behaviors. This concerns the motor behaviors that is impulsive or unduly responsive to external suggestions, as shown by echophrenia, the persistent repetition of the movement of the word of another, of negativism, in which the patient refuses to cooperate with a request or behaves in a manner opposite from that requested. For example, one may stand up when requested to sit down. And finally, the compulsive motor behavior. This is the most common motor behavior known is compulsive. These are acts of persistent and fairly specific nature which the individual recognizes to be irrational, irrelevant, and inappropriate to societal reality, but over which he or she has little or no control. So that marks the end of our class today. And in our class today, we have been looking at the causes of behavior disorders in children. Thank you and bye-bye.